I'm John Guidugli, President and CEO of the Hamilton Community Foundation. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to begin the evening. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and please be seated. On behalf of the Hamilton Community Foundation, I'm very pleased to welcome you this evening to the 2011 Harry T. Wilkes Hamilton Celebrates Education Dinner. This dinner and program are designed to do one thing: celebrate some of the great work done by educators in our community all year long. As I hope you know, the Foundation recognizes the importance of education and enhancing educational opportunities in our community, and it continues to be one of our major strategic goals. As we begin the evening, I want to first thank Harry Wilkes for his vision and his financial commitment making this event possible. I also want to thank the dedicated committee that worked so hard all year to make sure that tonight's program is a success. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize and thank the school administrators and school board members who are present this evening. I'd like to ask those administrators and school board members in attendance to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Mostly, though, I want to recognize and thank the educators in our community. You are why we are here this evening, to celebrate your dedication, your hard work, your innovation, your inspiration. This event is such a success each year because there are so many good things going on in the schools in our community. We have much to celebrate, much to recognize, and much to be thankful for. To the educators present this evening, please accept our thanks for all you do every day to improve the quality of life in our community by teaching, guiding, and inspiring our young people. That's the reason we're here to celebrate. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you the chairperson of the Harry T. Wilkes Hamilton Celebrates Education Committee and your MC for much of this evening's program, a true friend of education in our community, Neil Cohen.
John just said it's all me, but I don't think so. I think it's all you. That's why we're here. I think that's worth some applause. Yeah. I'd also like to welcome my adopted school partners, Debbie Alf and her crew from Fairwood Elementary. One of the things that I do in the community is participate in Adopt a School at Fairwood. A number of other things as well. So when John says that I'm a friend of education in the community, I don't know how friendly I am about it, but I certainly care about it a lot. And I'm really happy to be here on the podium tonight and greet you and be a part of this celebration. I also wanted to let everyone know that today is Teddy Roosevelt's 153rd birthday. Now, I'm sure a lot of you didn't know that, but there's probably somebody in the crowd that did. And I'm only saying that because Teddy Roosevelt had a slogan that he coined, which was, walk softly and carry a big stick. And I think that's what teachers do every day. So I think Teddy was thinking of you when he coined that phrase. Years ago, a professor gave a group of graduate students this assignment. He said, go to an impoverished area of town, take 200 boys between the ages of 12 and 16 and investigate their background and their environment, and then predict their chances for their future. Sound familiar a little bit? The students, after consulting social statistics, talking to the boys, and compiling much data, concluded that 90% of the boys would spend some time in jail during their life. 25 years later, another group of graduate students was given the job of testing that prediction. So they went back to the same area, Some of the boys, by then men, were still there, and few had died. Some had moved away, but they got in touch with 180 of the original 200, and they found that only 4 of the group had ever spent any time in jail. Only 4 out of 200. So the question is, how does that happen? When the prediction was so compelling, how come only 4? These people lived in a breeding place of crime. They had such a surprisingly good record. The researchers were continually told, well, there was a teacher. Each one of the people that they investigated and talked to afterwards said there was a teacher. So they pressed further, and they found that in 75% of the cases, it was the same woman. The researchers went to this teacher, now living in a home for retired teachers. So how did she exert such a remarkable effect and influence over this group of children? Could she give them any reason? They went to her and they said, can you give us any reason why you believe that these people remembered you and why their success was so terrific? And she said no, she really couldn't figure it out. She thought back over their years, and then she said musingly to herself as the people who were asking her left, I love those boys. I think it's clear that that's the mark of a great teacher, and I'm sure it's clear that there's 300 people in this room who feel the same way. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you Kathleen. It says Kathleen Klink, but I know her as Kathy Klink. Kathy Klink is one of our council people, and she is she's on the board of the Hamilton Community Foundation, and she's the chair of the education committee of the foundation. Those of you who know her know that she's been an educator almost all of her life since she retired as superintendent of schools at Lakota Schools, and also most recently she was the associate vice president for online learning at Butler Tech and career development schools. There's a list about a mile long of all the things that Kathy has done. Suffice it to say that we all admire her very much for her interest in education in our community and for her efforts in furthering the good outcomes for all the students in Hamilton. Kathy, I know she's here somewhere. I've seen her.
Thank you, Neil, and welcome to everyone. This evening is particularly important for a lot of reasons, but I would like to highlight just 3. Number 1, the recognition for the teachers who are here this evening. Outstanding teachers who make a difference in the classroom day in and day out. I'd like to convey a special thank you to Harry Wilkes for his generous contribution and support of this event over time. And I'd also like to showcase the Hamilton Community Foundation's partnership with our community schools. As chair of the Education Committee for the Foundation, I'd like you to know that we have a strategic plan that has 3 strong goals, and one of those goals is all about education. It is important to us that we support and advocate for education K through 12, higher ed, community schools, technical schools, because it's our belief that without a strong foundation and a good education, a high school diploma just isn't enough. We also advocate for many other things at the foundation, and I want to tell you about a couple of those. We have a program that currently is at both the freshman school and Hamilton High School that is a student advocate program. It's called YES, and the purpose is to support student success. It's in its 2nd year, and it is enjoying, I would say, wonderful things because of the students who are interacting with our person, Lindsay, who is there, and the success that she's having. We also support post-secondary education through scholarships. Annually, the foundation provides $500,000 to scholarships for students in our community. That means over time, $7 million have gone to students to pursue higher education. In addition to that, we work with Dave Murray, a professional who comes to our area schools and meets with counselors, parents, and students to help them navigate through the myriad of paperwork involved with applications and financial aid. Finally, I'd like to highlight student philanthropy. We believe in student leaders. We believe in working with young people who value giving back. And so our Youth Philanthropy Committee does just that. They have available dollars and they're able to award grants. And while they're doing that, though, they're learning many, many leadership skills. So there's a theme to what I'm saying. It's about education, partnering, giving back to the community. That's what we are all about. And I would like to invite all of you who perhaps don't know anything else about the foundation or would like to learn more to consider joining with us, because a true partnership really means all of us working side by side. I wanted to mention briefly, last week I spent most of the week in Pittsburgh. I was there for a conference called the Promise Net. You may have heard about Kalamazoo, Michigan. 5 or 6 years ago, they began a program called the Kalamazoo Promise. The impetus behind that program was those in Kalamazoo, Michigan saying, we don't have enough students pursuing higher education. How do we open doors? How do we make a difference? And so they began a program that said, basically, given these criteria, if you're successful students in Kalamazoo, Michigan, who reside in our city and graduate from our high schools, we'll entertain free college for you. Free college. So here I am in Pittsburgh meeting with a variety of educators, community people, higher education people, and that was the theme. This whole idea of the Kalamazoo Promise has just resonated across this country, and there are communities all over who have said, that idea of a promise to young people to open doors, to make available to them higher education opportunities, again, whether it's a technical career school, a 2-year community college, a 4-year college, for many, it makes no difference. It's the fact that those doors are open. That's what we were talking about. And ever since last Friday when I returned, I'm saying to myself, how can we have a promise here? Would that resonate with our community? What would it look like and how do we make it happen? So maybe you might give that a little thought this evening as you listen to all of the accolades of our educators and ask yourself, what else might we do as a community, and might we someday have a Hamilton Promise? As we go forward tonight, tomorrow, and into the future, keep in mind that your Hamilton Community Foundation is here to work with you, to partner with you, to value well-educated people, well-trained people, so that we can open doors for many, many people who will make a difference in our world. Finally, let me say, that never happens unless we have the best teachers in the classroom. I'm convinced of that, and that's why I'm so glad to be here tonight to be part of the recognition of all of you. Thank you.
I think Kathy needs to ramp it up a little bit, don't you? I'd now like to recognize all the members of the Harry T. Wilkes Committee who have put this evening together and worked so hard to make it special for you, as well as for us who are honoring you. Dirk Allen, if you're here, please stand. Dirk Allen. Katie Braswell. Katie's over there by the door. Joni Kopus. Joni, I know she's here. Joni. Angie Gray. Dave Shermer. I know Dave's here. Beverly Taylor is on the committee. She couldn't make it tonight. And Leah Warren. Thank you all so much for helping make this evening special. And now to talk about the judging committee and how we arrived at the award winners, I'd like to introduce Heather Lewis. Heather Lewis is a partner at Milliken & Fitton Law Firm, and she's been involved in judging for a couple of years. And she has also a list of accomplishments a mile long, but I'd rather hear from her than you all hear from me. So Heather, please come forward and help us understand the judging.
Thanks, Neil. It is definitely my privilege to serve on the judging committee this year and the past several years, and it is my pleasure tonight to introduce to you the other members of the judging committee. I think we have a couple of them here. I had the pleasure of eating with one of them tonight. So if you would please stand as I call your name and be recognized. Beverly Taylor has been the chair of our committee for the last several years. Rich Bethart. Katie Broswell. Katie, you get to stand up again. Chris Cannell. Thank you, Chris. And Kathy Carmack. Kathy, Beverly, and Rich were not able to be here tonight, but they do send their regards and their heartiest congratulations to all of the award recipients tonight. Thank you very much. I want to thank this committee very much for their hard work and commitment to education and the Hamilton community. The committee's work takes a considerable amount of time. We read a lot of applications and nominations, and we take this selection process very, very seriously. This year we received 16 educator applications and 24 grant applications seeking a total of more than $20,000 in grant funding. The nominations were excellent. You can be very proud of education in Hamilton, and the selection process was highly competitive. I would like to take a moment to tell you just a little bit more about the process that we use in selecting our award winners. The Educator Award of Excellence recognizes outstanding educators in Hamilton public and parochial schools. Each school is permitted to nominate only one educator, so they must consider their choices very carefully. The selection process is totally blind. When we read an application or a nomination, we have no idea who the candidate is that we are reading about. Our selection process is based upon 4 guiding criteria: the daily impact that the nominee has on students within our community, innovation within the position, leadership both in the school and in the community, ways in which the nominee goes above and beyond the call of duty, and I can assure you that all of our award winners tonight have definitely gone above and beyond the call of duty. Our second series of awards is called the Hamilton Celebrates Education Grant Program. This recognizes outstanding classroom or school programs in Hamilton. Grants range from $200 to $1,000, and they're available for classroom, district-wide, or just school-wide projects. In selecting our recipients, the committee is guided by a number of specific criteria, including the need for the project, how the project fits within school goals or district-wide goals, and the impact the project is expected to have both within the grant period and beyond the grant period. And before we recognize this year's recipients, I'd like to take a moment and pause and look at what 2010's recipients have done with their grants.
Are we ready? Wilson, get fit on 3. 1, 2, 3. Wilson, get fit!
The Wilson Middle School Get Fit Club is comprised of 7th and 8th graders who are very interested in getting fit. We serve about 30 and 35 kids each week. We work on our muscular endurance. We work on increasing our fitness levels. It's goal-oriented. They do a series of circuit training, increasing their cardiovascular endurance, using the speed ladder, mini hurdles, and we do calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, and we do it with much enthusiasm.
I love it. That's fun.
And the all-encompassing event is the Kicks for Kids 5K in Covington, Kentucky.
Right now we're training for a 5K run. We're getting conditioned. Hopefully we come first.
And our students will be running and walking 3.1 miles, and it will be most of their first 5K, complete with a medal, and they've been increasing their cardiovascular endurance throughout the whole year to complete this race, and we are very, very excited.
Go!
we purchased for our Get Fit Club. We have t-shirts that we used as incentives after their 4th visit to Get Fit. They got a t-shirt that they could wear proudly. We have 12 dodgeballs, not the violent dodgeballs, the actual Nerf dodgeballs so no one gets hurt. We have dodgeball every 4th Tuesday of the month, and we usually have 30 to 40 kids show up that day. Thank you, Mr. Wilkes. Thank you, Hamilton Community Foundation.
This program is a need, and we are very appreciative to Mr. Wilkes and the Hamilton Community Foundation.
It's called Get Fit Club, so you gotta get fit.
With the grant, I was able to buy things that I could enhance their math, their science, the technology with the computer, the engineering, so they understand things. They have to work hard, and it's my job to give them those skills. With my little guys, I have to go over this. The more I can give them now, at this young age, the better equipped they are to be good adults. Some of the materials were science that we went over, like the coral reef, where we took the magnifying glass and we looked at the things that would be in the sea. All kinds of math things that my kids love to count that stuff. When I get the boxes out with math counters, to them, they'd rather do that than play with games. They love to count, they love to sort, separate, they love to look at the pictures and the cards. I can't give them enough information, they just absorb it and love it so much. So the materials now are wonderful for holding their attention. Over the years, with the Wilkes Grants and the Educator of the Year, I have been able to provide so much for my kids. So much of these materials are so expensive that it just would have been out of my grasp. You walk in that room and everything that's good in that room came from the money that I received from the Hamilton Community Foundation and the generosity of Mr. Wilkes. I always tell everybody we don't have the green room, we have the Wilkes room. Thank you seems so small compared to all of the things that we have gained and all of the things that I've been able to provide to my students through his generosity and the hard, dedicated work of the Hamilton Community Foundation.
How I came up with the idea for the Chains and Charm program was every quarter we recognize students by giving them an award. We wanted something to remind the students of their goals on a more regular basis. The Chains and Charms program has allowed us to do that because every week then the kids get to wear their chains with all their charms that shows what awards that they've gotten throughout the year. So it's a great motivator for the kids to keep them focused on what their goals are. And it's incentive for other people. They look at there are some kids who have a ton of charms and they look at them and think, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. And it's motivation for the rest of the kids. Data is so important, and we have data that shows that our disciplinary referrals from last year to this year have decreased exponentially from what they were the year before. And I really think it has a lot to do with the fact that we have the Chains and Charms. They just have that sense of pride. The new building, the new Riverview, it's not Harrison, it's not Jefferson, it's not Pierce, it's one new school, one new family, Riverview. When we have the quarterly awards assembly, which we still do, which are great events, and we're able to bring outside friends, family, community members in to see the kids get their awards. And they keep track of how many awards that they've gotten, how many charms that they have on their chains. It's been one of those programs that I wish I would have done it years ago because I think it's just a real inspiration for the kids. I'd like to thank the Hamilton Community Foundation and the Harry T. Wilkes Hamilton Celebrates Education grant for making Chains and Charms a reality at Riverview. We are definitely the crowning jewels of the Hamilton City Schools, and now we have the bling to show it.
Well, I learned about Touch Math in college, and I thought, wow, that's a really great way to learn math, especially for kids with learning problems, because it's very concrete. They can just use the touch points that they've learned on the numbers. The materials can really be used across the whole school. It's been proven to be effective. Number 1 through 9 has touch points. So like number 1 will have 1 touch point, 2 has 2 points on it, etc. And the kids use those points to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Next year I'm looking forward to being more of a liaison to help teachers get it started in their rooms, especially at the kindergarten level, because if you start there, then you won't have to reteach it, and students will get that fluency as they go up through the years in school. Kids use it, and it's so exciting when you see them using touch points because it's so much more efficient. And it's like, yes, they're using something I taught them, but I see them using the strategies. And that's what I've always gotten the most from as a teacher, is working with kids one-on-one or a few on one, so that I can see if it's effective or not. Right now we're working on fractions. You don't inherently use a lot of touch points with fractions, but their program is such that it goes from the simplest fractions to adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing fractions, simplifying fractions, which are all hard concepts for children. I definitely would like to thank the Hamilton Community Foundation and Mr. Wilkes, because I never imagined that I would even win the grant, let alone be able to provide our school with all of these critical materials for learning math. Thank you.
I first learned about Brock's Adventures through my daughter Emma, who is a first grader. She would come home talking about Brock. So she's talked about courage, honesty, fairness, citizenship, compassion. During the story, Brock's always a character in there, and he helps another character make a choice. The good choices they can make, or what would be poor choices, how that would impact them, and how they would feel about that.
This choice or that choice, which one will it be? I'll make the right choice, the one that's for me.
Each month after Brock and Robin come in to talk to us, the kids are given a calendar to take home that has different tasks on it that they need to fill out and complete with their families. Once this is accomplished at the end of the month, they bring it back in and they can be rewarded with a Brock Buddy bracelet. Whenever in class someone's making a poor choice or starting to make a poor choice, all we have to say is, what would Brock want you to do? Is that being a good Brock buddy? And that will usually kind of help the student to remember they need to make a different choice.
I can be a Brock buddy being honest. I can be a Brock buddy by being a good citizen. I can be a Brock buddy by picking up an empty bottle at the lake. I can be a good Brock buddy because I recycle.
It actually started with me doing a reading program at one of the schools I worked at. I brought Brock in as a special treat for the kids. And so I brought the backpack in and put a book and a treat on each side for the kids. And if they could read the book, then they, got that. So my son drew me a little simple book that I could take in. I thought maybe I'll write the books about teaching the kids how to make better choices, or what happens when you make choices, who it affects. The kids are going to be hooked by this dog, and that's exactly what happened. They really want to be his buddy. So that's really what it's about.
I'd like to thank Mr. Wilkes and the Hamilton Community Foundation for being good Brock buddies by showing good citizenship and being kind and caring to the students and the staff at Hamilton City Schools.
This is my second year with Hope. I have enjoyed working with the students here. Being from Hamilton, growing up in Hamilton schools, it helps me connect and make a solid, positive influence on people of my own community. The first trip we went to the Cincinnati Art Museum, we were able to provide them the opportunity to go down to Cincinnati. For a lot of them, it was the first time they had been to Cincinnati, especially for a positive reason.
We went to the Cincinnati Art Museum. There's other places that you can go to get away from bad stuff. Instead of just going into doing other bad stuff, you can go to museums or different places and learn stuff instead of doing bad stuff.
We also had lunch at Mount Lookout and got to see the view of the city, and we had an art class there outdoor led by a volunteer art teacher from our local community. At Pyramid Hill, we were able to look at all the different sculptures, and it was neat because the students were like, "This is in Hamilton?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's right across from the river." And they're like, "We had no clue it was there."
I had never been to Pyramid Hill before. It was my first time going, and it was a great experience for me. I feel like I'd go back more, seeing as it is so close to home. Overall, I think my experience was really good. I feel like I look more forward to coming to school every day, knowing that I can bond with my teachers and my classmates, and knowing that we can go on field trips, and we're going on a field trip next week, and I just feel like it's been an amazing experience for me to be able to be a part of.
And then we went to our Adopt a School partner, the Hamilton Dream Center.
At the Hamilton Dream Center, we believe every student deserves at least the opportunity to succeed, and so we use whatever resources we have to give them that opportunity. I believe in second chances, maybe third, fourth. As long as someone's trying, the Hamilton Dream Center wants to help.
We talked about self-portraits and what it is to be true to yourself, and so she led them in the art class and they made their self-portrait, and so it was very touching to hear some of their stories, some of the students' stories, and how they tied it all together from, you know, seeing things in their community to being a part of themselves. To see the look on their faces was amazing. To provide that opportunity for our culturally deprived students, I can't even put into words how that made me feel to be able to provide that for them through the grant.
To the Hamilton Community Foundation and to Harry T. Wilkes, the Riverview Royals say, thank you!
Just wanted to say thanks for Mr. Wilkes. Deeply, deeply appreciate the contributions to our community and to our school.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkes!
Say thank you. Say thank you.
Say thank you.
Thank you! Thank you, Mr. Wilkes and the Hamilton Community Foundation!
In a time when funding is limited and programs are being cut, look at what our educators are doing with the money that Mr. Wilkes grants provide. Thank you again for what he's doing in our community. And now it is my pleasure to present to you the 2011 Hamilton Celebrates Education Grant recipients. Will you please stand and be recognized as your names are announced? Heather Fenton and Melissa Grable, a familiar set of names to you. They are from the Wilson Middle School for their program Get Fit Club. Our next recipient is Susan Rousey Dam from Highland Elementary and her Newberry Club. Next we have Cindy Cundiff, Kim Florick, Leslie Dungan, and Trish Van Tornhout from Ridgeway Elementary. And their project is entitled Get Into the Magic of Science and Social Studies, Take a Trip with Jack and Annie. Congratulations. Next we have Teresa Heinrich from Baden High School, Science Carnival. Terry Haynes Tony from Ridgeway Elementary, Family Astronomy Nights. Congratulations. Carrie Pennington from Bridgeport Elementary, Making Math Become Real. And Sherry Burke and Doug Leist from Garfield and Wilson Middle Schools in a cooperative project called Emerging Leaders. Congratulations. Thank you to all of you for your excellent proposals and the great things that you are doing in our local schools. Information about all of these deserving recipients is located in your programs. And now I would invite Neil Cohen back to the stage to announce our Educator Awards. Thank you.
Okay, now what I'd like to do is invite the 16 educator nominees to come to the front over here, please, as you've been instructed to line up in alphabetical order, so that we can walk you across the stage, congratulate you, and give you one of our great gifts. And the first award winner is Captain James Allison. Next is Kim Bennett. Now Ken Brown. Christy Combs Merkel. Aren't they doing well? They're like right in order and stuff. Sherry Doan. Allison Getler. Angela Holland. Ruth Houston. Rebecca Becky Lawson. Gunnery Sergeant Todd McAllister. Karen Redden. Jennifer Ritzy. Becky Schaefer. Ellen Schneider. Dana Spears. Lori Sudkamp. And Gail Zaz.
That's all right.
Gail Zoes. I knew that one was going to give me trouble. Thank you so much, all of you, for all the great work that you do. Thank you. Now we're going to announce to you and show you a short vignette about the 5 finalists. And the first one is about Kim Bennett, an 8th grade science teacher at Garfield Middle School. She's taught in Hamilton for 21 years.
Each day, teachers are challenged to provide education to students whose basic needs may not be met at home. They're starved for attention and validation, not only as students, but as people. They look for someone who cares, makes them feel safe, and can guide them toward personal and educational success. For Educator of the Year finalist Kim Bennett, she does just that, working to provide a rich, meaningful, and effective learning experience to meet Garfield Middle School students' needs both personally and educationally. Her classroom is set up like a well-oiled machine, and procedures are taught clearly and consistently from day one. The challenge of having the proper supplies is not an issue in Kim's class. She created a simple yet effective color-coded bin system so there's no stress over not having the proper materials or wasting precious class time to find them. Again, helping to create a structured, supportive, and stress-free environment for her children. Kim could have been nominated for this honor for her numerous professional distinctions, including national board certification. But the real reason that she was selected as a finalist for this year's award is for the countless unseen acts of kindness done on a daily basis for Garfield Middle School students. Her actions let students know that someone cares about their safety and personal success. Deep in Kim's heart, she wants to do everything she can to make the school a better place and to improve the daily lives of the students.
The next vignette is about Allison Gettler, another finalist. She's a 4th grade teacher at Ridgeway Elementary, and she has taught in Hamilton for 13 years.
In an ever-changing, always challenging educational world, Ridgeway Elementary's Allison Gettler takes on teaching with a never-ending quest for new knowledge and new ideas to meet the needs of her students. Allison perpetually searches for innovative activities to enhance her lesson plans. She keeps up with technology and uses it to make her teaching come alive, and she's always willing to share new ideas with the entire staff. Knowing the many distractions that face students, Allison never allows them to come between her students and their education. She appreciates that every child is unique, learning in different ways. Allison adapts lessons to each child, like implementing individualized spelling lists and providing meaningful choices that all adhere to the curriculum. Allison helped breathe life into Ridgeway's Accelerated Reader program, which helps students graph progress and encourages eclectic reading styles. Even reluctant readers are eager to keep reading and improving, which is no small feat. It's simply not in her nature to settle for less than excellence for all. For her positive impacts on Ridgeway's students, teachers, and staff, her willingness to share new ideas with others, honesty and compassion, unshakable patience working with students to make sure that they succeed, Allison Gettler has earned the title of educator. Allison doesn't approach teaching as a career, but her passion.
It's not surprising I messed up the first one. Allison, would you please come forward and receive your award as a finalist? And Kim as well, I apologize. Kim, could you come forward also? Congratulations to both of you. The next finalist is Jennifer Ritzie, a 2nd grade teacher at Brookwood Elementary. She's taught in Hamilton for 14 years.
A teacher is defined as an individual who provides schooling for pupils and students. But for Brookwood Elementary's Jennifer Ritzie, teacher is simply not a big enough word to describe the 14 years of contributions that she has brought to the Hamilton City School District and the inspiration that she gives to the students whose lives she touches each and every year. Jennifer is well known throughout the school by students, teachers, staff, and parents alike for her classroom style, innovations, and high expectations for her students, which motivate them to achieve their full potential each and every school day. These expectations come with genuine rewards of daily hugs and praise and helps build their confidence. She establishes and reinforces firm guidelines and goals at the start of each year, which creates a comfortable environment that engages her class and promotes working cooperatively. She has a gift for classroom management and teaching, an artistic touch to maintaining classroom control without ever raising her voice. This, along with her relaxed demeanor and a zero tolerance for disrespect, allows for well-behaved children in her classroom. Jennifer believes in helping students become lifelong readers, creative, inspiring, caring, professional, devoted. All describe how Jennifer Ritzie goes above and beyond a teacher's everyday life. She is committed to being the best teacher and person she can be, and that's why Jennifer Ritzie is a finalist for Hamilton's Educator of the Year Award.
Jennifer Ritzie, please come forward. Congratulations. Now we bring the fourth finalist, Becky Schaefer, a health and physical ed teacher at St. Peter's and Chains School. She has taught at area private schools for more than 3 decades.
For 33 years, St. Peter and Chains health and physical education instructor Becky Schaefer has transcended the normal definition of a teacher, not only teaching her students today about their bodies and reaching their full potential, but imparting lessons that will last a lifetime. Becky goes beyond traditional gym class sports to include innovative methods that inspire young students. Becky was concerned that today's physical education course was lacking in exercise to build upper body strength, so she created Traverse Wall. Here, students can climb horizontally instead of vertical to ensure safety, to strengthen their upper bodies and build confidence, while at the same time learning to take risks. After tracking students' results, upper body strength has improved. There was also found to be a need to get kids outdoors, so Becky helped fill the void and was instrumental in introducing archery in the schools to St. Pete's. After implementing a competitive team in 2010, this well-trained, highly motivated team not only qualified to compete in the National Archery Tournament in Louisville, Kentucky, but has been the first Ohio team to be invited to compete in the 2011 World Championship Tournament in Orlando, Florida. Archery isn't the only addition to St. Pete's PE curriculum Becky Schaefer has introduced. Other programs include Passport to Fishing, the First Tee Golf program, and a soon-to-be-implemented tennis program by the United States Tennis Association, just to name a few. Her dedication to the school and St. Peter and Chains community is evident. Her inspiring example and enthusiastic instruction has influenced countless lives. The community is better and healthier thanks to Becky Schaefer's involvement.
Ladies and gentlemen, Becky Schaefer. I promise I didn't write that. I promise. And the last of the 5 finalists is Dana Spears, an intervention specialist at Bridgeport Elementary. She has taught in Hamilton for 25 years.
Bridgeport Elementary's Dana Spears is a born teacher with qualities that cannot be learned but are instinctive. Her first and foremost thoughts are about the well-being of her students both academically and emotionally, and she does so much to keep everyone that she comes in contact with inspired and uplifted. Dana has been a special education teacher for many years, but her experience ranges from high school through the elementary level. Students in Dana's care have flourished because of her compassionate way of teaching. She has the talent for differentiating instruction in order to meet the needs of all learners. Dana is a true leader, shown when she worked to create an atmosphere of global awareness when 2 grade levels adopted and studied the plight of 2 manatees. Students could track their adoptee via the web. She also led the way in volunteering to prepare Bridgeport for Write the Read Week, and was instrumental in organizing many of the activities during this highly anticipated week, including making standing art boards depicting illustrations of several books by Hamilton native Robert McCluskey. These works will soon be displayed at Heritage Hall in downtown Hamilton. Dana Spears exemplifies the characteristics of an educator of excellence. She is nurturing, innovative, and committed to the education of her students. All of her colleagues feel privileged to work alongside her, and her energy is inspirational. That's why Bridgeport Elementary is honored to have nominated Dana Spears for the Educator Award of Excellence.
No, I'm sorry, Dana. I missed you. Congratulations to all the 5 finalists. And now I have the moment we've been waiting for. It's in a mayonnaise jar down here. And I have this incredible envelope that was made at the foundation. And this has the winner's name inside it. But it's so pretty, I'm not going to open it right now. Maybe I will. The winner of this year's Harry T. Wilkes Award is Becky Schaefer. Deliver all that?
Yeah.
3 decades worth.
I got 3 decades worth of stuff to say. Deep breath. Seriously, deep breath. Thank you so much. Look at the St. Peter's people over there going, oh no, they gave her a microphone. I have a story. I always have a story. When I was in 2nd grade at St. Peter and Chains School, we had no gymnasium. What is our gym now was the church. We had the closest thing to PE was when the nuns sent us out to recess on the playground in the snow and told us to run a lot and maybe we wouldn't get frostbite. I had a friend though that went to Lincoln and she said one morning, would you want to go with me to open gym? And I said, sure, it sounded like something that would be fun. So we went over and we walked into the gym. And there were kids on trampolines, and there were kids climbing ropes, and there were kids on scooters, and there was balls flying everywhere. It was little Becky Wiegand paradise. And in the middle of all this was a gentleman who was spotting the tumblers and helping the climbers and teaching kids how to throw balls and kick balls. And I said to my friend, who is that man? And they said, well, that's Mr. John. He's our gym teacher. And I said, that's his job? And they said, yeah. And that was it. From that point on, I knew that's what I had to do. I found my passion at 9 years old, and I never looked back. Thank you through this award for recognizing what I've learned over all these years, and that's that it can be physical and still be education. That's the beauty of my job. I get to teach scientific principles. Why do you have footwork when you put a shot? Newton's law, an object in motion wants to stay in motion. I get to teach math. If we're going to find our target heart rate, we're going to have to divide, we're going to have to multiply. And we don't use calculators. And I get to teach the wonders of the human body. The more you do, the more you can do. And I get to do all that in the context of movement and games and activities. And most importantly, it's my job to help each of these kids find their passion, find their strength. Everybody's got it, but sometimes you need help to find it. That's why we're all in this business of education. I'm so lucky to work with teachers and administrators who are doing what they love and are good at it. I've always believed the key to success is surround yourself with smart people and pay attention. At St. Peter's School, I think we're all constantly learning from each other, and I'm so grateful to be part of that environment. Since I blame him for getting me into things that always involve a lot of work, I guess I need to thank Jeff Wenning out there from the Ohio Division of Wildlife. As the outdoor skills officer for our district, he's the one who came up with many of the ideas that are the reason I'm receiving this award tonight. I surround myself with smart people and I pay attention. Thanks, Jeff. You guys, if you're not taking advantage of the wonderful educator resources that are out there from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, do it. We need to get these kids outside and moving and appreciating nature. Don't bother Jeff, though. Yes. Yes. But don't bother Jeff because that's not his job anymore. But I have phone numbers and contact names, and we'll talk later. I've lost my place. I've been blessed with a principal and a pastor who hear my new ideas that usually Jeff put me up to, and they actually encourage me to go for it. I'm sure a lot of times after I leave Charlotte's office, she's banging her head against the wall, but after I leave, she actually encourages me and she trusts me enough to turn me loose. And so far it's worked out pretty well. Just as family support is essential to the success of our students, I think we know family support is essential to the success of us as teachers. I know every teacher out there at some point has called home because you forgot something and you're about to start a project, and honey, could you bring it to me on your way to work because I need it before lunch? Or we've dragged a spouse or a family member over to help us put up that bulletin board because open house is tomorrow and I've got to get it up. My family, both immediate and extended, shout out to the table full of my cousins out there. They've put up with a great deal. Loading and unloading equipment when I decided I absolutely needed it at school. Or, oh, by the way, honey, I'm taking 40 kids and adults to Orlando for an archery tournament, and it's going to suck up pretty much our entire summer with frantic fundraising. You don't mind, do you? They just smile because they know the crazy lady's getting excited again about something, and they help me in any way that they can. I've always gotten their support, even if my son still insists on telling people that his mother teaches kickball for a living. When I look at the accomplishments and the talents of my fellow nominees, as well as the many educators in this room, I am so proud to be standing here now. I want to thank the Hamilton Community Foundation and Mr. Wilkes for choosing me for this honor. As educators, we don't do what we do because of awards, but it is gratifying to get a pat on the back every so often. Plus, I'm not going to lie, I love to win. Thank you. I don't forget all my goodies. Thank you very much.
I have the best job in the room. This is such great stuff, and to be the head of this committee is always a challenge every year, but we have a great group of people who help us do this, and then I get to stand up here and take all the accolades for doing everything when I really did nothing. But I did prepare a little bit for this evening, at least some of the comments, and I did review all of the award winners, and I think the challenge that you all face every day to really make a difference for the people in our community, particularly your students, but it doesn't just go to them, it goes to everybody, and it goes up to families, it goes up to other people in the community, and everybody here is so blessed to have a wonderful private and public school system where our kids can really get what they need. And people like Harry Wilkes to make sure that something a little bit extra is available. Thank you very much, Harry. I want to thank as well TV Hamilton, the Courtyard for helping us establish this wonderful evening, and particularly Katie and the Community Foundation for doing all the work that they do. I've talked to Katie quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, and her challenges were great, but she pulled it off. I'm sure you agree this has been a great evening. Walter Johnston wrote that many people who wonder why they don't amount to more than they do have good stuff in them and are energetic, persevering, and have ample opportunities. It's all a case of trimming the useless branches and throwing the whole force of power into the development of something that counts. There are 300 people in this room here tonight who have trimmed the branches, who have put their whole force of power behind something that really counts in the development of our most precious gifts, and that is our children. Have a safe night. Thank you for coming.